Hello, hello, and good morning. Happy Friday, October 3rd, 2025. I am Manila Chan. That over there is Ted Rall. You are tuned in to the Ted Manila Information Show, TMI show for short, because we bring you too much information. We're live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, so please be sure to hit the like, the follow, the subscribe, and the share button because all of those little clicks really help grow this show and help us grow the audience so we can, you know, maybe attempt to replace having steady income streams from a regular job, Ted. That would be good.
It'd be nice.
That'd be really nice since our big Biden layoffs of the fall of 2024. So that would be really good if you guys can help us with all of that. So on today's show, we're standing by the way, to see if what happens with P Diddy. I know that like
Oh, he'll walk free. He's staying over. He's staying at my place tonight.
are you gonna have a bunch of baby oil ready or like?
Oh, always.
You always do.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I hear he could be sentenced anywhere from 1 month, counting time served,
Mm.
all the way up to 20 years. This could be anything.
He doesn't
There's
deserve 20
nothing.
years.
Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing to talk about right now. We're just waiting to see if whatever the judge decides. So
Yep.
there's no federal minimum for the charges that he was found guilty
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll wait to see what happens with that news. We'll talk about a couple of car stories out of California today. I guess California is still the tech capital of the United States, I guess.
Last time I checked.
I think. I don't know if that's starting to change. I don't know. But laws have not caught up with these driverless cars. Not in California, not federal laws. So we'll talk about a weird case of a Waymo car getting pulled over in NorCal very recently, and the cops and everyone were like, what do you do?" Then a more tragic story about like three college age kids that were killed in a fiery
Horrible.
Cybertruck wreck.
I have
Um,
thoughts.
I have a lot of thoughts on that, but also like the the baseline premise of the car wreck was that three rich kids were drunk and high and home for the holidays.
Mhm.
They were coked out and they were drinking. Still horrible that they had this happen to them, obviously. But the
But
worst
those are the
part is
people that these things usually happen to, right? So,
the
I
rich
mean,
kids in North.
well, yeah. I mean, the fuck ups. I mean, that's why fuck ups are why you have automotive safety protocols. They're the people you need them for.
Well, I
It's
guess. I
like
mean,
it's like free speech. Oh, but that person's offensive. Yeah, that's the offensive
yeah,
person is the
that's what it's
person
for.
you need to protect.
Yeah, so this though is particular to the Cybertruck. And Ted, I've never seen the inside of a Cybertruck. I've walked past a couple in the parking lot. I've never really like looked inside. Have you?
No, I've like you, I've never been inside one. Well, I've been inside a Tesla, but not inside a
Yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Not
family
not a
members might have
Cybertruck.
been.
I don't know what it looks like inside. They tend to
I
be
don't either.
they have dark windows, right? So they
Yeah. I guess they come that way. I don't know. So I had to do some research on what this was, and I have the receipts, and I think the family has a really good case in suing
oh,
Tesla for
oh. Tesla's mistake, Manila,
their
is in
trapped daughter.
fighting this. As soon as they
Yeah, they should
heard
have
that the
shut
case,
the
as soon as they got like a letter from the lawyer,
they should
it
have
should have
shut
been
up.
like, you
Like,
win.
"Honey."
Okay, we'll pay you. How much do you need? Like, we're gonna have
Right,
we're gonna have Ed McMahon come back from the grave and drive his van with the
right.
balloons to your house and bring you a huge foam core check. That's how that should have
Yeah,
happened.
they're gonna have to change this. I'll show you, Ted, and we'll show the audience what the inside of a Tesla Cybertruck looks like and why this family is probably gonna win, Ted. Like, I'm
Oh,
just
it's
looking
open and
at the
shut.
design just looking at the design of this freaking door,
Oh, it's
um,
ridiculous.
it's really bad.
And
It's
I have
really bad.
personal experience, not with that, but being trapped in a in a car. I've seen it from both sides. So
Were you trapped in a car that
I was
was
trapped in a car,
drowning with
and
a Kennedy?
yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah,
Oh,
I'll tell you that story.
jeez.
And I saw a guy burned to death in a burning car. So yeah.
Oh god. Um, then there's a story about I don't know if we call it sleep deprivation, but I guess n not good sleep and the consequences of what that does to your brain.
Mhm.
I'm not sure that I care what my brain looks like, Ted. I know very
Yeah, you mean like when people are like, "Hot brain."
like, "Ooh, the wrinkles in your brain are sexy," because that's where you want the wrinkles, right? Like, the more wrinkles in your brain, the better. The
That's
smoother
true.
the brain, bad.
That's when you start to get
So
into the Biden zone.
yeah, smooth brain in there. You know, wrinkly skin, smooth brain. Um, Ted's gonna have to do that story because this was like he
Oh,
was
yeah.
very fascinated by this.
Yeah.
And then me, this last Friday story.
Mm.
Let's talk about meth. Yeah, it's an ugly drug. That is not one I have ever tampered with because it's disgusting. It's gross.
We all have our
But the F
limits.
but the, yes, the FBI, the FBI, um, apparently meth housed like this whole neighborhood in Montana, and it's not near Robbie. Not too far from Robbie though, but in Montana.
Well, yeah,
The
Montana, just because
FBI
something's in if something's in the same state, if it's Montana, that doesn't mean it's anywhere nearby.
no. Montana's apparently very big. But this, Ted, like plumes of smoke of meth, you can poison, like you can kill people. Like I can't believe the FBI, like I just can't believe this story. Like the
No, it's a
FBI.
crazy story.
Catch Patel, man.
Speaking of meth,
Cash Patel, man. Like, I don't know what the protocols are for destroying drugs, but I feel like you has nobody ever told the FBI that you shouldn't burn meth? Because this is why houses get condemned. This is
yeah,
Realtor Manila speaking.
yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
is Realtor Manila. You know those meth houses that where they cook meth? Those houses get condemned and have to be taken down, not even to the studs,
Right.
completely just
Yeah,
knocked down,
yeah,
demolished
yeah.
because meth stays in the walls in like it permeates everything. And I think the FBI just did this to a whole town like in
Maybe
Billington.
they're the same geniuses who were burning computers and stuff in burn pits in Iraq.
Yeah. Yeah, with the tires, with everything. Just
Hmm.
throw it all. It's fine. That's how we recycle.
Certain
That's
things
how
should not be burned. Yes, many things actually.
so many things. Many things. So we'll tell you that's a fun Friday story. So all right. So let's jaws it and
Who's reading?
we'll what on the first
Yeah,
I'll do
uh,
the first one.
excellent.
I'll do the first one. We'll
All right,
jaws.
great.
All right, this first fun car story. Police in Northern California were understandably perplexed when they pulled over a Waymo taxi after it made an illegal U-turn, only to find no driver behind the wheel and therefore no one to ticket. The San Bruno Police Department wrote in a now viral weekend social media post that officers were conducting a DUI operation early Saturday morning when a self driving Waymo made the illegal turn right in front of them. Officers stopped the vehicle, they pulled it over and all that, did the whole thing, but declined to write a ticket as their quote, citation books don't have a box for robot. Quote, that's right. No driver, no hands, no clue,
So
read the
why
post,
is it on the road? Is my
which
question.
which was
If it
accompanied by
doesn't have a
photos
driver, why is it there? Why is it there?
which was accompanied by photos of an officer peering into the car. Officers contacted Waymo to report what they called a glitch, and in the post, they said they hope reprogramming will deter more illegal moves. The department's Facebook post has generated more than 500 comments, with many people outraged that police didn't ticket the company. People also wanted to know how police got the car to pull over. But San Bruno Police Sergeant Scott Smith Matungal said that they can only ticket a human driver or operator for a moving violation, unlike parking tickets that can be left with the vehicle. A new state law that kicks in next year will allow police to report moving violations to the DMV, which, for their own part, is figuring out specifics, including what the penalties might be. So this is what I mean, Ted. Like we know, having both of us having covered and written about politics for so long, it's like when we were watching Dianne Feinstein trying to understand Facebook, the Facebook, as she would call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as she worked
Although
on
in fairness, she might just be OG because it was originally called
that's true.
the Facebook.
That is true. However, she sat on whatever the committee was called about, like, social media and whatever, and technology. This was an 89-year-old woman sitting on the technology and social media committee,
Yep.
having no clue what she should be asking Mark
None.
Zuckerberg. So how can these people make laws if they don't even understand the technology, right? So fast forward to today in California. So these driverless cars exist because no law says they can't. Our laws are prohibitive, right? Like they tell you what you cannot do.
That's true to some extent, but they were also, these cars were licensed, right? I mean, they were approved. Remember, there was a whole controversial regulatory process that probably the state of California approved them. And then also the city of San Francisco, city council and the mayor signed off on them. So they went through a political process, and it didn't occur to any of these retards to say, hey, we should probably pass some, we should probably have a whole legal structure in place for when one of these things fucks up.
Because technology never fucks up, never.
And by the way, this brings up a bunch of interesting questions, right? That one that you brought up. Also, it brings up the AI question. So, Manila, I use, and I think you do too, I use AI every single day to do the first draft of our show notes, the description that we post to this program. I put in exactly the same prompts every single day. I have a formula that I cut and paste,
command. Yeah.
And I put into AI, right? I use the same AI machine. I use Grok. It's like, but it's inconsistent. AI doesn't always do the same thing. It's a computer program. As I grew up as a computer programmer, it's what goes in should always come out the same way on the other side. If the input's always the same, the output should always be the same, but it's not. So you get
like if you type in 2 + 2 on an old school calculator, it'll always tell you 4.
Always. But if it's AI, it might be 4.2, it might be 6, it might be a million. You never know. I mean, it's usually going to be 4, but not always. And so for example, AI is a big part of driverless cars. That means they're going to be inherently unpredictable. It means that there's going to be times when they do dumb things like make a U-turn for no reason whatsoever. I mean, look, another way to look at this is you use GPS, right? I mean, I use GPS. I have both the old school Garmin and I have Google Maps. The point is that both of them they make mistakes. Literally, they will objectively.
They'll tell you to drive off PCH, Ted.
Or they'll objectively tell you. They'll objectively tell you to go the wrong way. That's actually, and you'll see. Oh, I know that's the wrong way, and then I'll stick to the way I know is right, and then I'll see the arrival time drop, which means that by definition I was right. So the point is, they didn't consider that AI technology would cause accidents.
That's what's mystifying to me, is that they're testing not only Waymo, there's other brands, right? Like Tesla's got its own thing that they're trying out. I'm sure because Elon probably made it rain in Austin, right? And they're testing.
I'm sure
he's testing his driverless whatever Tesla vehicles there. His taxis or whatever. Audi has been trying their driverless cars in downtown Los Angeles and in Manhattan.
There's like half a dozen here now.
That I've seen videos of I would not be one of these people, Ted, but I've seen social media posts from customers who have dared to be in a driverless taxi, and they've shown videos of the driverless car, like, I don't know if it was a Waymo or another brand, but it would, because it was stuck in traffic, it would decide to, like, go over, like, center dividers and stuff and, like, go the other way, like, 4
Fuck.
by over, and just and the passenger was videotaping, and they're like, "Oh my god, no! What are
Yeah,
you
there.
doing?
I
No!
saw one of the
Like,
videos. You
what do
probably
you
seen this
do?"
one because it was one of the more viral ones, and it was going through some kind of like light industrial zone where there were like a lot of like truck delivery docks kind of and in the backs of companies, and it's not really clear that there's a curb because it's more like a soft ramp that goes up from the street. So the driverless car is up like on like driving across the loading docks, like, and then hitting the curb and banging into the curb the other side. It doesn't know where the fucking street is. I mean, and what's it going to do in places where, for example, like right now in New York, there are a bunch of streets not far from where I live, but all over the city that have been they're regrade, they're repaving. Now, in civilized cities, which New York is not, um, when they repave the street, they tear away the old asphalt, and then they scrape it, and then they put down new, and they do that all the same day or two. Here, what we do, because we're uncivilized, we take away the old asphalt and we leave it like that for like
Yeah,
months, and then
yeah.
there's no marks, there's no white line, no
Yes,
yellow
yes.
line.
They just did that here outside of my house.
Yeah, it's so basically we end up with roads with the rough, basically the quality of Afghanistan, and
Yeah, and the manholes are then slightly lifted,
yeah, and then you,
and,
yo,
like, and you
you try
plow into it, like,
hit, oh, and you hit one of those things with your bike, look out. So like but the point is, it's that's they so what's the driverless car going to do with that? It doesn't know
it
what to
doesn't know,
do.
right? Because it doesn't know the yellow line. So
Like a human
many
being
years
kind of,
ago,
a human being can kind of, as dumb as we are despite being
we
Americans, we can
make
still,
decent judgment.
yeah, but we can sort of be like, that's roughly where the yellow line would be. You kind of
Right.
figure it out.
Like, I need this much space for my car. Like, here's the parked car. I need this much space. Like, oh, here
Yeah,
comes another car. I'll move over.
yeah,
Head on car. I'll move over a little bit to my right. Um, so oh gosh, what was I lost my train of thought. Um,
much like the driverless car.
that's right. Well, anyway, I would never. I'm I'm an early adopter to many things, but when it comes to having my personal safety or autonomy given away to anything, I'm not. I just don't. I'm not willing to do that. I don't know
And it's
why
funny because driving isn't
people are
really that hard.
excited.
If you, I mean, it's both. It's the thing is, driving's an interesting
But
thing,
Ted,
right? It's
but
controversial
weren't
because
you
in,
excited to get your license when you're
oh my,
16? You're like, oh my god,
oh,
freedom.
I had it on day
Our
one.
kids.
I already had the car on day one. I was ready to
Me
go.
too. Me
Yeah,
too.
I had saved up money and I was good to go. I was day one, age 15 and a half. That's when you could do it.
Me too.
But
Got my
the
permit,
kids today
but
aren't like that at all. But the point is that driving's interesting because on the one hand, it's both complicated and it's simple. Like, how hard is it, right? Literally, it's
it's
with an
not
automatic car. It's
hard.
like, you know, hit the gas to go, hit the brake to stop, and steer the fucker.
Turn a
And that's about
key,
it. It's not hard, right? It's
kick
like,
down the parking
but on
brake,
the other hand, it's like it's about
put
the
it in drive.
subtle little things. It's about like, oh, like it's about like knowing when you're driving through the suburbs that maybe a dog might run in front of you and be ready to
Right.
hit the
A kid's
brakes.
soccer ball might come running through, therefore a kid might follow. Like,
Right, like even like in the woods around 6 feet. I don't think the driverless car is
oh,
programmed to know. Oh, it's
oh,
dusk. I'm in
that's what it
Exurbia. There might be deer. You know what I mean?
that's what I my train of thought, I found it again. Choo choo. Many years ago, before I was married and had a family, when I could go to things like this, I was invited to some sort of like urban planning symposium of some sort. So this was close to 10 years ago. We'll round it off to about 10 years ago, but it was here in DC. Um, and it was one of these think tank symposiums about the future of driverless cars because Tesla was becoming a thing, right? And they had long
Mm,
proposed driverless technology. So all these big brains that that know how, from civil engineers to car engineers or whatever that were there. I remember somebody saying, look, the only way this will work in America is not when you have, a few 100,000, even 1 million or 2 million cars on the road that are driverless. You would need every car in America to also have that technology. So that way the cars can communicate with each other. So they don't hit each other and other things you would need everything that's on the freaking road to be equipped with
one
that technology.
Integrated device. And that's the main point, right? Like the main point, it would almost, you could probably close to abolish all traffic because, like you would get on the highway, for example, and like your car, you're not driving, your car like just merges in seamlessly and it can travel really close at high speeds, other cars. It's almost like a train on the highway, right? And then like each car gets off individually, like a car of a train. And yeah, they need to, that's how you'd get the advantages of this technology. You're right. I mean, this is one of those things where the systems are incompatible with one another.
That's right. So that always stuck with me. And that's always been at the core of my skepticism of all of these driverless cars that have since then cropped up over the past 10 years, because whoever that man, whatever engineer that man was, that made a lot of sense to me. He said it basically has to work like the Internet of Things at your house, right? Like you can't have one smart device. All of the things need to work together like in a web of things so it can communicate.
There's no point.
Otherwise, your house isn't a smart house. You can say you have a smart device, but if it's one device, how useful is it if it's one device that's smart? Because then you're manually doing everything for it anyway, because it's supposed to communicate with the other things.
Yeah.
So that made a lot of sense to me. And I thought, yeah, so when Tesla started the whole self-driving thing, I went, oh, no.
We're
and
not
then
ready.
literally our American infrastructure down to its most basic core, the studs of our freeway overpasses are literally crumbling. Much less
that's true.
Having
And
them
the other thing is, Manila,
smart.
We're unique in that, like, you can go to any other country in the world, and in all other countries, like I don't care if you're in Shanghai or you're in Xinjiang or you're in Xi'an, all the traffic signs are the same. All the markings are the same because it's China. It's one country. But here in the US, every state has its unique, I mean, yeah, there's certain things that are in common, but there's a lot of unique signage. I mean, like, for example, this is stupid, but in California, the highway exit signs always tell you the next 3 stops on like the freeway. We don't have that in New York at all. Not at all.
And we don't have that here either.
We just tell you the next one. That's it. There's no the indications of mile markers are different depending on where you are. How exits are configured are different. Some states have the exit based on the mile marker. Some states have it just as integers. There's no continuity. And I think I've described the T sign, right? Like in Boston, there's these signs that say, watch for T. You're like, what's a T? If you're from
California?
Delaware, you might not know what a T is and get run over by a T. You'll fuck around and find out.
Like, is this an animal that's here in Massachusetts? Like, what am I?
What's a
I'm
T?
I
don't know what a T is.
Like, what is a T? What is a T? What am I looking out for?
Yeah.
Does it just say the letter T? Like,
it's a T in a circle.
A T in a circle?
Uh-huh. Watch out for a T in a circle. I'm serious. It's really retarded.
I would have no idea.
Well, I didn't and then I was driving around and I saw one almost hit someone, and I was like, "Oh, that's the T."
Like a T intersection?
Well, it's sort of like in Chicago, the EL is the elevated subway.
I didn't know that.
Now you do. See, that's my point. You don't know that. There could be a sign in Chicago that says "Watch for EL." You'd be like, "What the fuck is an EL?"
I would not know. Well,
the point is, so how are you going to program?
There's no uniform anything.
Yeah,
That's
there's
right.
no,
That's
or
the
for
point.
example, okay, New York City. New York City has no right turn on red citywide. There's no
Is it
signs.
marked as that?
Nope,
Oh, it's
not at
not.
all. Nope. I think there
Wait,
might
that's
be,
citywide?
it's citywide. There's maybe 2 or 3 exceptions in the entire city where you can,
Wow.
but
We
basically
just
it's
did that
citywide.
here in DC too.
You can always tell
That's
people
new.
in New York State who are from New York City, they stop at everyone's honking at them
Yeah.
like, turn right, asshole. And like,
Yeah, that's me.
okay,
In
but then
California, we just keep
again,
saying turn right.
I guess you can program the driverless car to
Well,
know that, but still,
so in California, we also have like the famous California rolling stop, right? So
of
not only,
course,
let's say you're at a four-way stop, okay? And you're at that intersection, not only do you have the big red stop sign at
right,
all four corners, but painted on the street is a big white reflective line and the words stop.
hmm,
So if you are training your car, your driverless car, to drive on a California street, and those cars, let's say it's that Audi that's trained in downtown LA,
right,
and I move my Audi here to the DC Metro,
mhm,
there are no painted words stop with a line at a
right,
four-way intersection, at a four-way stop. There's
mhm,
just the red stop sign.
right.
It's and many, many times, because this area is very green, many times people's trees or whatever foliage
That
are
happened to
blocking
me in
the stop
DC.
sign.
I got a ticket for running a stop
There you
sign
go.
that was obscured by the
There you go.
tree. And in fact, when I got the traffic camera ticket from DC, it said you could see that it was obscured in the camera.
There you go.
And I was like, that's
So
and they found me not guilty.
right. So if you're training your driverless car based on California road standards, or like California has like no parking, it may not say no parking, but if it's a red painted curb,
Right.
it's no parking in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah. And in
Over
LA,
here,
there's like
no
white
such
painted
thing.
curbs that are also no parking zones.
That are
But here,
loading,
that
they're
would be
quick
a
loading
perfectly no
yellow.
problem, no muss, no fuss.
Right. So how do you train? There's no uniformity in our federal driving laws, much
No.
less local driving laws. So these cars
And the
are
rules are different too. Like for example, how far from the curb can you park?
right.
Um, you know,
People are gonna die from this, Ted, when the rollout of these, like
well, they already have started
right,
dying.
when
Yeah.
it becomes bigger, when the rollout is more massive, I don't maybe this is like the culling of the herd, Ted. It's gonna
Could
be
be.
like Gen Zers, because people our
Oof.
age, we're like, "Oh, hell no, I'm gonna be that old lady in a big ass Cadillac driving like this, but I'll like" but all the Gen Zers are gonna get creamed in
True.
their Waymo, their Waymo taxi, because they're busy like taping a TikTok video while they're traveling from point A to point B. America is not ready for these things. And I don't know how much money the lobbyists for these tech companies that are tech/car
Oh,
companies.
you know.
Well, okay, I do
I think
know.
the
But I
official
mean,
amount is a fuck ton.
just greasing the palms at the expense of you mark my words, Ted, it's going to be the majority is going to be the kids that are your son's age that are going to die from
It's
this.
unconscionable, really, to be honest.
They're killing Gen Z, because I think most Xers and definitely not boomers are are going to be writing this. So it's going to be the younger millennials, and the Xers are, or excuse me, Zers. Younger millennials and Zers are going to be the ones. It's a thinning of the herd by Waymo or
Yeah. Yeah.
Audi auto drive or whatever they call it, by driverless vehicles. It's a culling of the herd. Just sorry, not sorry.
It's disgusting, actually.
Well, the next story proves it, Ted.
Ooh. Okay, so the parents of a college student killed in a car crash last year in California sued Tesla, claiming that the design of the doors in the Cybertruck made it nearly impossible for their daughter to get out of her burning vehicle. The suit, filed in California court by the family of Krysta Tsukahara, 19, Tsukahara, sorry, underlines longstanding questions about how the doors in Teslas work, which is the focus of an investigation begun in September by federal auto safety regulators. Maybe have the investigation before you let them make the cars. Just saying.
Hmm.
Um,
Ah,
The lawsuit is another setback for the Cybertruck, which is selling like shit and has been recalled 8 times since last year. Tesla pioneered car doors that open and shut with the push of a button. And by the way, you can't open from the outside, right? Because they stay flush to the surface. So
Right.
first responders
I don't even
show
know
up
how they open.
and they can't, and like, let's say you're unconscious behind the wheel, they have to break the window, possibly injuring you further and delaying your egress and making it, let's say you have broken bones, maybe damaging you, pulling you out that window. They can't just open the fucking door.
No.
It's like literally like it's a flat surface. So anyway, they open or shut with the push of a button. Several other automakers have imitated the design, usually on EVs. The
Terrible.
electronic doors, of course, look high tech, and I love this, they may modestly reduce wind resistance because their external handles typically do not protrude from the door. Yeah, you know how like those, like, you know, my car, if it weren't for those door handles sticking out like by half an inch, man, my car would go like 130 miles an hour on the same tank of gas. Give me a break. Okay, that is retarded. That's like swimmers who shave all of their body hair to cut down on the water resistance. It's like, unless you're Armenian, you don't need to do that. Anyway, Ms. Tsukahara, a student at Savannah College of Art and Design, was riding in the rear seat of the Cybertruck driven by Soren Dixon that smashed into a tree at a high rate of speed in Piedmont, California. That's just north of San Francisco. Mr. Dixon, 19 years old, died in the crash. So did Jack Nelson, 20, a student at UC Boulder, who was a passenger in the rear seat. So according to the lawsuit, Ms. Tsukahara's injuries were minor initially, but she died of burns and smoke inhalation. She burned to death after the battery of the Cybertruck caught fire. She couldn't get out because the manual door releases were too difficult to find. And just wait for it. If it hadn't been so difficult to escape the burning Cybertruck, she'd be alive today, Mr. Tsukahara said in an interview. And I'm going to say, based on the following, he's right. To open the Cybertruck's rear doors, the passenger must lift a rubber mat on the bottom of the door's storage pocket, then pull a cable underneath. Yeah. The Cybertruck.
I have it up on the screen. You guys can look. You can look here.
This is where you officially know that Elon Musk is a retard. The Cybertruck lacked a functional, accessible, and conspicuous manual door release mechanism, fail-safe, or other redundant system for emergency egress, the lawsuit says. So let's get this straight, automakers and federal regulators. They have a latch inside the trunk of the car
right here
in case, like, you get, in case the mafia throws you in the trunk of the car, or and kidnaps you, or if you're a kid and you're playing around in the trunk and you get stuck in there. So you can get out of the trunk, but you can't get out of the back seat of the car because the door, there isn't a proper door handle. Okay, this is ridiculous. The lawsuit says that the deadly flaws in the design of the door latches have been obvious for years. Agreed. Yet Tesla failed to make improvements, even in the Cybertruck's its latest, newest vehicle. For more than a decade before the crash, their suit says, Tesla had repeated and direct notice that its reliance on electronic door systems created a serious risk of entrapment. Owners, bystanders, and first responders documented instances where Tesla occupants survived crashes but couldn't get out when electrical power failed and fire ensued. Last year, Tesla settled a suit brought by the family of Kevin McCarthy, chief executive of a software firm in Indiana, who died after his Model S, driven by one of his employees, struck a tree and caught fire. The driver died on impact, which was in 2016 in Indianapolis. But Mr. McCarthy was struggling in the front passenger side of the car before he cooked to death. Other manufacturers, including Ford, Toyota, and Stellantis, which makes Jeeps, have adopted electronic doors. Those companies have used various designs that allow doors to be opened in the event of a power failure or emergency. Mila, I have so many thoughts about this. I was driving a cab.
You gotta look. Look at these. Look at these pictures. Okay. Look. So how you get in and out of a Cybertruck? You have to press this button right here that shows. You see it?
I'm seeing.
Because God forbid you have a handle that you pull
a
to
handle
open.
or a latch.
Right. So you press that button. So in the event,
and do you have to rub your stomach in reverse chronological?
So you press that button, but in the event that let's just say you're not in a car wreck. Let's just say for whatever reason the battery died.
Sure.
It has no power. You're out of power. You can't. Okay, fine. You have to know to go underneath where that button is in the lower section of your door panel.
As one does, obviously.
To pull apart this rubber cover here that's not even marked. It's only marked in this picture, but in real life, it's not marked. It's just a black rubber cover. You peel off the rubber cover to expose this little hook.
As the flames, but you're motivated to go fast because you're on fire. So you're gonna pick up the pace there.
But you got to go find the loop right there. So this is Tesla's. I'm going to show you Tesla's actual website. Okay. Here's what it says. Tesla Cybertruck, do it yourself. Opening doors with no power. It's the unlikely event that the Cybertruck has no
in the unlikely event of a water landing.
No low voltage power. You will not be able to open the doors from the interior by pressing the associated button on the top of the door handle. Instead, use the manual door release. Caution, manual door releases are designed to be used only in situations where Cybertruck has no power. When Cybertruck has power, use the button located at the top of the interior door handle. Warning, do not use the manual door release while the vehicle is moving. Opening a front door with no power. To open the front door, this is not even the back door, Ted. This is the front. To open the front door with no power, pull the manual door release located in the front window switches and push the door open. So you've got to literally break apart this thing like, and then power yourself, push the door. Okay. Here's where Miss Tsukahara was sitting. The rear door, no power. You can open a rear door without power by performing the following steps. There shouldn't be steps, Ted. There should not be steps.
It's
this 19-year-old girl, okay, in a burning car. 1, remove the lining from the rear door's map pocket and open the mechanical release latch by pulling straight up. Right there. Okay? It will reveal this blue loop, this little blue loop string. Pull the flap if equipped. If it's equipped with one, Ted, pull up the flap. Pull the mechanical release cable forward and push the door open as such right here. That's the blue cable. You pull that loop and then you should be able to push the door open. So if you're injured, like you
unconscious, right? Well, of course, if you're unconscious, you can't open the door latch anyway. But
then other people can't open your door either because there's no door handle on the outside.
I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but I remember car windows that you just cranked down.
Yeah. My first car had that. Vinyl seats and crank windows.
It is my opinion, based on personal experience, that they never should have gotten rid of those, or that at least that should be a backup. Electric windows are a mistake. And here, I literally, an electric window almost killed me. And here's how it happened. Well, first of all, I want to just say, in terms of I've seen someone trapped in a burning car in New York City in the 80s. I was driving a taxi late at night on the Queensboro Bridge, also known as the 59th Street Bridge, in the Simon and Garfunkel song. Middle of the night, there's a car on fire. I stopped. Several other people had stopped. And there was a guy, he couldn't get out of his car. And let me just say, we tried to get close. The heat was so intense. I only got like maybe within 20 or 30 feet of the car. I don't even think I got that close. There was no way to get him out. And we smelled him cook and scream and heard him scream. But when I got home, my eyebrows and all the hair from the top of my head to my arms, all the hairs off my arms had just burned off from the heat. Ugh. Right? Even though no direct, that's how intense the heat of a car fire can be. And that was just a gas fire. These electric vehicles, the batteries burn much more intensely, much hotter, faster. It's brutal. So they catch fire less often than gas cars, but when they do, it's a more spectacular fire. It's more binary. It's like sort of like it's either works great or it's a disaster. And anyway, I was driving on Interstate 10 near Biloxi, Mississippi, when during a tropical storm, and there was periodic local flooding. I'm going about 70, 80 miles an hour. I come over a rise, normal, everything's dry, multi-lane highway. Suddenly there's the Gulf of Mexico right ahead of me. No stopping, no way to avoid going in. Everything's going in. All of us. We're all going in there. Trucks, cars.
Teddy Kennedy style.
Ted Kennedy style. That's right. Like I am my own Mary Jo Kopechne. So my first thought as I hydroplaned across, like skipped like a rock across the surface of the rental car, was electric windows. And I was like, I pushed as I went in, still moving. I hit the window. I hit all the windows so I'd be able to get out. And if I don't think I could have gotten out of the car because the water would have shorted the electrical system, right?
Yeah.
And then apparently the way that's supposed to work, this sucks. You have to wait for the water to fill up until there's like basically almost completely full, and you're like this, and then you can maybe open the door and get out. And that's why there's
the
guys
water pressure balance.
Yeah, and then you can open the door. But by then, it's probably terrifying, and not to mention the car might be tipping, listing to one side, and I mean, it's just much harder than it needs to be. Hand crank is your friend. Go out the fucking window. So, this is a design that predates Tesla. I don't think. I mean, if you want to have electric windows, fine, but there should be a hand crank backup in all cars. They should make things as less electric as possible.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Especially for ingress and egress. And then first responders should not need a tool to break the window of the car to get you out. They should be able to open the door. In fact, as soon as the car crashes, if you're going to have an electronic system, it should like in the same way that the airbags deploy, the door should automatically unlock so that at least someone could open the door from the outside, right?
Yeah, I don't even know how they do that.
This is design shit. I don't
There's
understand
no handle
at all.
Like
no.
Elon was more worried about
the looks,
like the besides the looks, but having it be impenetrable. Remember when he first debuted it and
you could shoot it.
Right, it failed. So first he was more worried about the impenetrability. Then he was worried about having the sleekness of whatever this Roblox or Minecraft design. I don't know where the hell.
It is Minecraft.
I swear, I think they were high using like Minecraft, and they're like, "Let's make a car, bro."
Dude, this is so cool.
Dude, this is so cool. And that's how they designed it. But I've never bought into the hype of Tesla. Again, I have many friends and family members who have them. Not only does using a Tesla not make sense in the way of, I'm sorry, you guys all know where Ted and I stand on, the environment and stuff. But bottom line, America is still a petrol-based world. The world that we live in is a petrol-based world, whether you like it or not. I mean, the coverings of this microphone, the cable, the housing of this camera I'm looking into, everything you touch, see is made of petrochemicals, including the stuff we need to run our cars. We don't have the infrastructure for these flamey batteries that Tesla likes to use because they're very fiery.
They are.
They're not. I'm surprised, Ted. Another thing, like I've never looked under the hood, or I guess in this case, the boot of Teslas. If you know that your batteries are prone to like being flammable, why would you not?
All batteries are prone to being flammable.
No, I know that. No, but I mean this particular, for whatever reason, because they're lithium ion. If these batteries they tend to be more flammable or like very blow uppy. Why would you not encase it in some like a flame retardant or blow up retardant casing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not an engineer, But can I recommend that to Elon Musk? Like, I don't have multiple degrees. Like, I went to junior college and a regular 4-year college. Like, I'm not super, but I'm not an engineer, but I sold cars for many years to get through college. I feel like all you need to do is put it in some sort of housing to prevent the poof. I feel like
Yeah.
that could, like, put it in some sort of retardation housing to stop the blowing upping.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a
I'm,
thing.
I'm, I'm with you on that.
So I don't know how I
100%.
contact Elon. I've never looked in the boot, so I don't know how their batteries are housed. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Have you ever seen the engine of the motor?
No idea.
I should
No
say.
idea. I
Yeah,
guess
I don't know either.
part of the challenge, my batteries do overheat. So, it would be when you encase it, it might make it more prone to
There's
overheating.
there's got to be a way though. Like I don't know. Like your laptop has lithium ion batteries,
And it gets
and
hot,
how do they? And it gets hot. And do you remember the old laptops that had little fans in them, and then
of course.
um, you could buy
Yeah.
additional
You buy
little
a little
fans
fan
that you could
for
sit
it.
them on? Yeah,
Hmm,
a
hmm.
fan
I
for
do. I
your
remember that
laptop.
very well. Yeah.
So I feel like we've come so far in technology. If you can do all that, like why haven't their engineers thought of like these simple fixes that there's a way around this? If you can make your cell phone not blow up in your pocket for the most part, unless, Bibi Netanyahu gets to it. Um, but for the most part, your cell phone can be used for hours and hours and hours. It doesn't blow up. It's happened. I know that.
For the
I know
most
it
part.
can
Yeah.
happen. But for the most
It
part,
can.
your cell phone doesn't. It's a lithium ion battery. Then there's got to be a way to prevent these sorts of fires. And they're always a fiery death trap with a Tesla.
True. Yeah.
It's always a fiery
Now,
death trap. Every
I
time you
remember
read
that
about it, it's fire.
the first literally look, I'm no genius. They threw me out of engineering school, Manila, and I don't. But even when I first saw the very first Tesla, and I learned about the way that the wind that the door locks, and it's not possible to unlock it from the outside. My first thought was this is a safety issue, and so I mean, it has to have come up, right? I mean, it reminds me a little bit of like how Steve Jobs liked certain things because of the design. He's like, "Oh, this just is cool, and therefore we're just doing it." And it sounds like that's the mistake that Tesla's going with. It's like they're trying to make things look cool. That's more important to them. And by the way, not everything looks cool. Like for example, I don't like the iPad like type interface, how it sort of looks like it's pasted on, like it sticks out. I think those screens should always be embedded in a dashboard from a design standpoint.
Right. Right. Cause yeah, I see. It looks like it was an afterthought and they just threw it on there
Yes. Yeah,
as a
like an
touch screen.
aftermarket thing. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. It's like it's the difference between going to a hotel room that has, like an armoire with a TV, an old box TV in it, and going to a
Yes.
hotel room that has like a built-in flat screen in the wall.
Exactly. All the difference in the world.
It's all so yeah, I don't know why people, I don't know, these designers, it's kind of clunky, but more importantly, it's a death trap, and the people that tend to be buying these cars, again, Ted, are the same generation that are in the Waymo taxis.
Are you sure
It's like a
about that? I mean,
Gen Z.
I mean, you need.
Yeah.
I mean, those cars are very expensive, right? I mean, I think
Yeah, I mean, they're
my
more
experience
popular
of
or
Teslas is that
desirable.
it's older people drive. Older people are
No,
driving
no, not
them.
older. It's I would say it's millennials, a lot of millennials. It's not a lot of Xers. There's plenty market for that, sure, but it's more millennials, like in their 30s, that
You
that
think?
drive
Really? Is
Teslas.
that?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, are you just making that up, or do you think like that because that must
No,
be true,
basically
or do you think it is true?
because I have friends in the automotive industry. So
Hmm, hmm.
Tesla is geared towards millennials. That's their target demo.
We should try to get Lauren Fix on to talk about this topic at some point.
Yeah, this is all just so dumb, and like I don't want a Tesla. America's, again, not ready for lithium
No,
ion battery cars.
100%
We
no.
are in a petrol society. And until all of the infrastructure is good and damn well ready for it, you will be in a death trap. Because, like Robbie always points out, here, I'll let him tell you about the death trap in the freezing cold.
Heather,
if you're in a Tesla in Montana. Tell us, Robbie, what happens to a Tesla in Montana?
They die. I mean, they don't like cold. And if it's 40 below, 50 below zero for 2-3 weeks at a time, and you're plugging your Tesla up using an extension cord from your house, go with God, because that's not going to work out well. I've seen it happen. They explode. The battery ruptures
because there's too much resistance.
Yeah, it just freezes, because when it gets that cold that fast for that long, whenever the high temperature is below zero, that's the high, and then the low is 40 below, and then you factor in wind chill. I mean, nothing works. Your doors freeze. The doorknobs aren't going to do any good. They just freeze and they'll break off if you pull them. It happens because metal and cold just don't get along. Now, I have thought about this. In World War II, what they would do is the Russians, they would get candles or lanterns and put them up under the engine block of their tanks. That's how they kept the oil from freezing.
Interesting.
And so I wonder if you did something like that with a Tesla, just try to get the battery just warm enough so that way the fuel cells don't rupture. I don't know how that would work with the ion lithium battery, but
there's my fire retardant casing. Maybe it can also be used for people that are buying it in Montana to keep their battery warm so it doesn't rupture. That's something I don't think about because I've never experienced that kind of like horrific cold.
Well, the other thing I wonder about, if because the roads in Montana, there's no asphalt. It's all ice. You're driving on ice. And so how is that going to work with the AI for the car? There are no lines. There are no lanes. You can't see the lanes.
Driverless cars?
Yeah, you can't. There's nothing there. So, I mean, you just kind of just aim for the traffic light, and that's where
true.
You go.
When the road's covered with snow, which obviously this isn't Montana, but
it'll probably mess up. It happens here in the New York brain area. Of the AI.
You have to follow the tracks of like the cars that went ahead of you. You
stay on the ruts.
Fit into those tracks, right?
Oh, that's true. I don't know that they have tested. I know they've done. There is out in Pittsburgh. There's a specific like a model town, like a fake town that they've made. It's either in Pittsburgh or just outside of Pittsburgh, but they've created like a fake town, like a Universal Studios backlot type town. And this is where they do the training for a lot of these driverless vehicles, and they'll put up, they'll throw a fake dog out at the car, stuff like that. They'll put, like it'll pop up like a person walking. Phew, it'll walk up and see how so it gives it supposed real world.
What about an elk or a moose?
Interference. But yeah, they don't. But that I don't think I read that they had, because I was very fascinated in on the development of all of this, because I came out of the auto industry, and I still have lots of friends in the auto industry. So I watch and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? And that's how they were training them 10, 15 years ago, was in this weird little fake, Hollywood movie studio type town in Pittsburgh.
That's what they should be doing. I think it's like go with God, go do that. But like, you're not ready to put these on city streets.
No,
I mean,
I'm not going to be in one.
Like the one the article that we read, where we opened with the Waymo that made the U-turn. I mean, that Waymo could have run over a pedestrian. You know what I mean? Like easily.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So
like, is it trained to recognize like a woman with, or a person pushing a baby stroller? Like, do you know what a baby stroller is? Does it know what a bicycle with the thing behind it, parents that bicycle with their kids, the kids.
In San Francisco, what they do, they're also kind of like, they don't have flexibility either. And I know this is kind of like, the thing about driving is you're supposed to follow the rules, but until you're not. So for example, if someone's double parked, you're probably going to have to cross the yellow line when no one's coming the other way. to get
Right,
past
to go
them.
around.
But the
I've seen it
Waymo in
cause
San
traffic.
Francisco doesn't do that. It just sits there
Well,
like
we
a
saw in
toad.
New York City. New York
Yeah.
City, somebody did that, and the Waymo refused to move, even though there were no cars coming. It refused
Right.
to go around the double parked car, and it caused traffic, and it kept doing it because, Ted, people like to double park to run and drop things off in New York City.
Or how's it going to interact with bicyclists? I mean, let's say you're on a country road. I mean, the polite thing to do is to cross if you're come behind a bicyclist and there's nothing coming the other way, you should go all the way across the double yellow completely and give that bicyclist the lane and then go
give
around
them
them.
some room.
But although some people are retards and they don't do that, and they're like afraid to cross the yellow line, and so they skim you, and it's really terrifying, and you could end up killing someone that way. But the point is, the Waymo, it's not going to do that. It's either going to just go behind the bicyclist really slow and cause a traffic jam, or it's going to run over the bicyclist, right? I mean,
well, because the way it would work, the way I think that I don't know, I don't have one obviously, but I would think that they use lasers, and that's how it kind of works with the proximity sensors.
Yeah.
Well, how does that work when? How does it work when it's that cold and the air is dry and there's ice crystals? It looks like crystals are just floating in the sky in the air. That's what it looks like here in the wintertime. How does that work with the light reflection?
You guys, by the way, don't you have that same problem with? I've read that you guys have that problem with iPhones. Like, people take it out of their pocket, and as soon as the iPhone hits that like 10 below, like your power is drained like instantly.
Really?
But it just drains your battery. That's the problem. Ion lithium batteries do not like cold like that. They do not like it.
They don't.
Oh, interesting.
All batteries, but especially those.
Yeah. So, all right. So we'll leave. That's enough of the car story. But yeah, Robbie has witnessed this, and Robbie, imagine there's no charging stations, right? Like in the backwoods of Montana. So you're driving your Tesla, and you're like, how there's already that scandal. It'll tell you 1 minute you have 100 miles left to charge, and then and then 10 minutes later it tells you actually you have 20 miles left to charge.
Oh,
and
funny
then you're
story.
Stuck, and then you're in the frozen tundra of Montana.
The people who moved into from my old house from your former home state of California, may they all just get fucked. They both have Teslas. And and it is projected. The Farmer's Almanac is saying this is going to be the coldest winter in a generation here.
Oh, wow!
And so I'm hoping that is true.
Off.
I am thrilled. I hope that comes to pass, and that
so you can't wait
people
to see them not be able to start their car. That's what
I want to see.
It'll be a time of great joy.
I want to see a mass exodus of about 60,000 people leave my beloved state.
Californians
go back home.
I would probably agree. It's probably not made for you, Californians. Go skiing at the winter time and then go back. Go home.
I mean, hey, if you're here with a Tesla and you're, I don't know, if you're here for a month and the high temperatures will be 30 below, which is what they're forecasting, good luck to you.
Well, I mean, that's people want to go skiing. I get it. Inshallah. All right. Thanks, Robbie. Okay, we'll move on real quickly. Go ahead, Ted. This is your sleep story.
Yes, it is. All right. We spend nearly a third of our lives asleep. Yet sleep is anything but wasted time. Far from being passive downtime, it's an active and essential process that restores your body and protects your brain. However, when sleep is disrupted, the brain takes the hit. In a new study, sleep behavior and detailed brain MRI scans in more than 27,000 British adults between the ages of 40 and 70, they found that people with poor sleep had brains that appeared significantly older than expected based on their actual age. What does this mean exactly? Well, we all grow chronologically older at the same rate, obviously, but some people's biological clocks tick faster or slower. In the study, brain age was estimated using over 1,000 imaging markers from MRIs. They trained a machine learning model on the scans of the healthiest participants, people with no major diseases, whose brains ought to look like their chronological age. Once the model learned what normal aging looked like, they applied it to the full population of the study. Having a brain age faster than your actual age can be a signature of departure from healthy aging. Duh. Previous research has linked an older appearing brain to faster cognitive decline, greater dementia risk, and even a higher risk of early death. Sleep is complicated, and no signal measure can tell the whole story. However, this study focused on 5 aspects of sleep self-reported by the participants: their chronotype, whether they're morning or evening people, how many hours they typically sleep, 7 to 8 is considered normal or optimal, whether they have insomnia, whether they snore, and whether they feel excessively sleepy during the day. These characteristics interact in synergistic ways. Like if you have a lot of insomnia, you might also be sleepier during the day, and having a late chronotype might lead to shorter sleep duration. By integrating all 5 characteristics into a healthy sleep score, they got a full picture of overall sleep health. People with 4 or 5 healthy traits had a healthy sleep profile. People with 2 or 3 had an intermediate one. Those with 0 or 1 had a poor one. When they compared brain age across different sleep profiles, differences became clear. The gap between brain age and chronological age widened by about 6 months for every 1 point decrease in your sleep score. On average, people with a poor profile had brains that appeared nearly a year older than expected, while those with a healthy one showed no such gap. I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I would need the visual to, like, I'm a visual learner. I would, for something like this, I would need to see, like, I want them to show me, like what does an optimal healthy brain look like versus a sleep deprived brain? Do we have like, I would like to see that, if you can point to this or that. But I mean, I guess that's kind of a duh, right? Like,
Yeah, it's a
like
duh.
it's a no duh. Like, yeah, like obviously if you don't get enough sleep, like obviously your brain's, if you don't maintain your body and your health, um people Ted, that might explain a lot. Donald Trump, notoriously known for sleeping like 4 hours a night,
That's
3
true.
or 4. But there are people that are programmed that way. Like, I
That's
can
true.
sleep, like, as long as I get 5 solid hours, I'm okay. I'm like an efficient little Honda, right? Like, I don't have to eat too much. I don't have to sleep too much. Like, I can just go. Like, fill up the tank and go. Like, I'm good. Fill up the tank, and a small tank, 5 hours, I can go. I don't do that though. I always make sure I get 7 to 8 hours every night, and I've been that way for a very long time. But when I was a younger journalist, I used to, hit the road a lot, and I'd fall asleep on the, you know, in the tube in London or whatever, like whatever. I could stand there and doze off, hugging my backpack to make sure someone's not, nicking my laptop out of me, while I'm dozed
That would be
off.
bad. Yeah.
But I could do that in my 20s, right? Like, I could do that. Um, I think I'm wired that way, but not because of my brain vanity, Ted. Obviously I wanted to keep my brain young and beautiful, but I just know that there's other overall health effects for people that don't get enough sleep, which is why I bitch at producer Robbie a lot, because he's one of those people that never sleeps.
No, he doesn't sleep. Every now and then
He
he
just
gets a good
doesn't
night's
sleep.
sleep.
Every now and again. But sleep is so important. Otherwise, like, like, I
By the
really feel
way,
like you're
I hate to say this,
Biden.
maybe because I sleep better than you. The average age for a Tesla owner is Gen X, 45 to
45.
54.
What?
50, that's
The
right.
average age?
Average. They're older. They're older because they're expensive cars.
I know they're
Manila.
expensive. Everyone I know in
Well, I mean,
California
young
has
people
one
have no
are
money.
millennials.
Young people are,
They're older millennials though.
young
They're
people
like
are broke.
40. They're like 40-ish. Is that where millennials are now? Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
They're like early 40s.
under 40. Well, now they're as old as 44, I think.
Wow. Well, so them, I would say they're millennials. So,
But
okay, I
they're
was
not.
close.
It's Gen X.
But it's Gen X. Well, I'm surprised because all the ones I know.
Now, all the ones I know are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s.
I know one Xer, and she hated the Tesla. She abandoned it. She hated it. My
Really? How
dentist
come she
has a
didn't like it?
Cybertruck. I think a lot of reasons. She felt like it looked cheap, and she's a mom. She has 4 kids. She's an Orange County mom. She just felt like the inside looked cheap and it felt hollow. It didn't feel
Yeah, the interior design gets very poor
like a model.
reviews.
Why? Is it the big round one that's kind of like an SUV car where the doors open up like the DeLorean? Is that the why?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
yeah.
where the doors come
Mhm.
up.
Always
She didn't
convenient.
like
Always convenient at the
right.
grocery store,
At the
super at the
grocery
parking
store
lot.
when you have 4 kids.
Yeah.
She didn't like this. So she didn't like any of that. Like, her husband thought he'd surprise her with, like, this cool new Tesla Model Y or whatever,
Mhm.
and she was like,
Well, there's a reason
"Oh."
why 140
And she's an Xer.
years after the invention of the automobile, there's kind of a reason why certain things are the way they are.
Well, what about those suicide doors that open like this
Yeah,
together?
exactly.
Like, like trucks with the extended cab, they do that, which makes
Mhm,
sense.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, but
and there are
very few cars do that, though.
like um, is it the Bentley, I think it's a Bentley that opens like if you're in the front seat in the coupe, it opens like this
Did you
the
say
other way.
coupe just now?
Coupe, yeah.
I
'Cause
was
I
wondering
think
if I hallucinated that. Okay.
yeah, I think you're supposed to be fancy when you talk about Bentleys,
The coupe.
um, the
Mhm,
coupe, and I think they open like that, like the
mhm,
door, like
mhm,
so when you're opening your driver, if you're the driver, you open like you push it out
mm,
instead of this way.
mhm.
So I don't know. I don't think that's smart. Anyway, my whole point is most of the people I know that were like into the fads are the older millennials that bought the Teslas. And then they
Sure.
went, these are the same people that slapped on the stickers that like, I bought my Tesla before Elon went crazy.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, shut up. Oh,
I know.
just shut up. Like
Yeah,
you're
please. Oh, that's just they're begging. Just please don't vandalize my car.
yes, I know. Like, oh, just shut up. Like you have a Tesla. Just shut up.
Don't be gay.
Okay, last story. Last
All right.
story
You're
for a
doing this
fun
one, right?
drug-filled weekend. Yeah, I'll do this one. All right. A cloud of smoke from 2 pounds of methamphetamines seized by the FBI and incinerated inside a Montana animal shelter sent its workers to the hospital, city officials in Billings said. The smoke started to fill the building during a drug burn on Wednesday, apparently because of negative pressure that sucked it back inside, Billings Assistant City Administrator Kevin Ifland said on Friday. A fan was supposed to be on hand in such situations to reverse the pressure so smoke would flow out of the building. But Ifland said it wasn't readily available. The incinerator is used primarily.
What was it doing? Was it like it was not readily available? It was out on a date? What was it doing?
The fan, like, where
The
is your
van
box
wasn't
fan?
available. Like it has a mind of its own.
Like, you don't have a box fan on hand? Like,
It's a fan. I know it's complicated technology, very
okay,
difficult. It's a
all
fan.
right. So the incinerator is used primarily to burn carcasses of animals euthanized or collected by the city's animal control division. But every couple of months, local law enforcement or FBI agents use it to burn seized narcotics. 14
Mm.
workers from the nonprofit Yellowstone Valley Animal Shelter evacuated and had to go to the hospital. The shelter's 75 dogs and cats were relocated and high as fuck put into foster homes, said Iflin.
Jesus.
He didn't say that. I added the cats and dogs were high. The shelter shares
And their
space with
teeth fell out.
that's oh god. They started getting scabs and scratching themselves.
Oof, oof,
Uh, ugly
oof.
drug, meth.
Yeah,
It's an
true.
ugly, disgusting drug. The shelter shares space with Billings Animal Control Division. When smoke started filling parts of the building, Halverson assumed it was from burning carcasses because, she said, they had never known about the drug burns. Ms. Halverson said she had a very intense headache and sore throat, and others had severe dizziness, sweating, and coughing. And she said it wasn't a party. The workers found out it was meth smoke through a call from a city official while they were at the hospital. Most of the staff spent several hours in oxygen chambers for treatment.
Jesus Christ.
Symptoms have lingered for some workers. They're being closely monitored. They're monitoring 4 litters of kittens. Some of the victims there.
Oh,
some
no.
kitties. 4 litters of kittens.
Oh my God.
They were heavily exposed, Ted, because they were in a closed room with a lot of that smoke with no ventilation. The FBI routinely uses outside facilities to conduct controlled drug evidence burns, says the FBI spokeswoman Sandra Barker. She referred further
Not that
questions
controlled.
to Billings officials. She's like, I don't know. I'm FBI. You got to talk to Billings. A city animal control super who was present for Wednesday's burn declined to go to the hospital. The FBI agents were told to go to the hospital by their supervisor. The incinerator is meant to operate at a certain temperature so it doesn't emit toxins. Officials say they were trying to determine if it was at that appropriate temperature. The shelter will remain closed until it can be tested for contamination. Shelter workers were tested for potential exposure, and they're awaiting their drug results.
Well, yeah, they turned them into meth heads.
They turned like
I wonder how many of them will
people
become addicted. I'm not even kidding.
Oh my God.
And then, the thing is, Manila, about the cats.
Gross.
So I knew a cat who, how do I put this? Its owner's ex-husband turned out to be making meth in the basement of the house.
Ex-husband, okay,
had previously, unknown to her, been making meth in the basement of their house. And the cat got into the meth. And the cat was fucked up.
Oh my God.
The cat had this, the cat was sort of like this, all the time.
Like just all tweaked out and scratching all the time.
No, it wasn't like that, but it was tarded, I mean, it was the cat was just its temperament was so weird. It was just if you like cats and cats, you have an instinct for how cats are supposed to be. This cat was not right. It was not. It was off.
Well, so he was high all the time. So, okay, so the humans were exposed. Honestly, if it's as bad as this article sounds, that means your walls are contaminated. You're gonna have to destroy this fucking shelter because it's 2 or 3 pounds of meth.
It's a lot of meth.
That's a lot of meth. Pounds? Yeah. 36 ounces of meth. People that do meth,
don't be surprised if there's some. Don't be surprised if lawsuits come out of this.
Ted, to kill a man your size, you would need not even a half a teaspoon of meth.
Yeah.
To kill a man, a full-grown man, half a teaspoon worth of crushed meth or pilled meth or whatever could kill a Ted.
And they did this.
So we're talking, and they're 3 pounds.
Let's do this down at the animal shelter. They use it to kill cats and dogs. Why not? We'll fry up them old raccoons and the meth. Yeehaw! What the fuck is fucking idiots?
But this is the FBI, Ted.
Well, so they could have dumb accents.
So it's not the animal shelter's fault. It sounds like the lady that gave a statement to the AP here, she works for the animal shelter and she had to go to the hospital, and she's saying she didn't know that the FBI did that at her job. So
lawsuit.
So she's like, what? The FBI was burning drugs at my job? What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Very intense drugs.
Yeah. This isn't burning up weed. This is burning meth. And so the FBI field office in Billings is not responding to reporter questions.
Yeah, because everyone's making fun of them, and rightly so.
Ted, I feel like if you're the FBI I don't care. I know they have field offices like all everywhere, right? Like
Yeah, sure.
everywhere. They do. But and you have all these drugs that you confiscate from busts or whatever. Shouldn't there be at least like a regional hub of where you would dispose of these drugs? Like
Yes,
a burn
there
center
should be a
outside of town,
yes. Or
away
maybe,
from
and maybe
humans?
burning's not the way. Maybe you just
Right, like
maybe there's some other method. Maybe you encase it in cement and you bury it, or something like that, right? A lot of things are disposed of that way. I mean, burning's dangerous by definition. You know, I mean, it's going up into the atmosphere.
well,
You have
then
to also be
you can't
concerned about
water it
burying. You don't want
down.
it to go into the water. You don't want it to
You
go
can't
into the
water
water
it down,
supply.
right? Because then if you water it down and then you dump the water, it goes into either a drainage water supply or seeps into the
Right.
land. You
That'd
don't
be
want
bad.
that.
That'd be bad.
So you don't want that either. You don't want like meth ass worms, right, coming out of the ground like zombies.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know what you would. I don't know how. I don't know what you would do. I feel like there's got to be chemicals you can mix them with to deactivate them as a drug.
One would hope.
So, but burning, I feel like, especially burning meth, is not it. You, it probably would have been celebrated if they were burning like 3 pounds of weed.
Mhm.
People be like, bro, the skiing, dude,
So weird.
dudes.
So
So
weird.
that is the fun news. I hope somebody that is allowed to be in the press pool, unlike me, that they can go near Kash Patel and ask him this question about what are the FBI's protocols for when it's time to dispose of drug evidence. Do you guys burn everything? Do you have a central location for it? I wonder. It could be Kash Patel snorting it up himself. He dispose of it. Could be. I
Could
don't.
be.
I don't know. Could
Could
be.
be.
Don't know. Because Ted, that could explain why his eyes in the pictures are always like. He's always like,
True.
and he's like twitching around like. At You've seen him do all of these interviews, right? His eyes are always bugged out, and he's always like.
True.
Robbie says it's from cousin fucking. No,
It could be.
I don't think so. He was born like in New Jersey or something. Like, I don't think so.
Well, New Jersey is the cousin fucking capital of the United States.
Of the East.
So,
Of the East. No, dear God.
I'm just making that up.
All right. So that's it for us on this fun Friday. The FBI mething everybody out in Billings for like miles and miles. And now the residents, I don't think all the news is totally broke yet, Ted, because like it's just now coming out because it happened on Wednesday. So
yeah,
I would be pissed. Billings is not a tiny town. It's a main city.
It's a real city. Yeah.
It's a real city. So if I lived there right now, like I would be pissed that there's meth in the air of clean,
and
beautiful Montana.
So.
Like I'd be pissed. But
That's
anyway,
a good point too. Yeah.
Talk to Kash Patel. He runs the FBI. Just saying. All right, that does it for us, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Manila Chan, Ted Rall, producer Robbie. Hope you guys had fun this weird news week. We'll be back on Monday. Ted, you got 2 more weeks of doing deprogram in the mornings.
Yeah, we might. We're liking the morning. We might keep it. Yeah, it turns out the numbers are still good. We thought it might hurt us, but it's not. And it's also that way. Like it's back to back is kind of convenient. It's like, and we're sort of working on the network thing. We might not keep it 9. We might go 11 instead. That way we don't have to get up quite as early.
The other way. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ted, I always joke about this is like Jamaro kept like his morning slot, right?
Yeah.
Before and TMI, we came on after, and then John used to come on after us.
Yes, that's true.
So if deprogram came on, let's say at 11, then we would be keeping our same.
That's true.
Sputnik time slots.
Then we could get maybe get Rachel, who was on after.
I know, like it
was Rachel, right?
No.
It was By Any Means Necessary.
Oh, well, that show got canceled though.
Yeah, but we can uncancel it. I mean, after all, look, they got fired for basically siding with the Palestinians a little too early. And
very early.
And
very
and you know
early.
what? That's like they turned out to be right, and they were
Sure.
prescient. So
Sure.
that was
And then
an injustice.
then it was Garland and Wilmer.
Mm-hmm. And then
Or
Rachel.
no, and then Rachel, I think. Or was it the
Yeah.
other way? Yeah, but they were later in the day.
I forget if I think Garland's first, and then By Any Means. Right?
I don't remember after 12. I don't remember. But anyway, that would be funny because then the viewers or listeners are already familiar with all of us in those time frames.
Yeah, that would be funny.
So it'd be kind of funny. But John's only out on the West Coast for 2 more weeks, right?
No. Oh, yeah, 2 more weeks. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he's back here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see when he gets. Is he in Mexico?
Yeah. Yeah, but he's getting eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Oh, so he's on the East Coast of Mexico?
No, West. He's
West Coast?
He's in Baja California.
It's not very mosquito-y though on the West.
Well, you take it up with John. He's getting he's a pincushion.
Oh. Well, either way. I
The good
love
thing
Mexico.
is that mosquitoes don't carry any
go to
communicable diseases, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about John like getting Zika. He's not
Malaria.
making babies or malaria. He's probably taken the it's like a concoction. Well, back then it used to be a concoction that you had to drink. I had to do like a malaria thing. I had like live typhoid. I had live typhoid and malaria brew in my fridge before I could go work in the Caribbean.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was interesting. All right, guys.
Yummy.
That's it. Have a great weekend, Ted. Producer Robbie. We all thank you, and we'll see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Adios. Ciao.